This is the first work drawing video for our train project. Remember, you're still going to have to do the hitch magnet and the hitch peg work drawings, but I'm just going to show you a lot of the same features and steps that you're going to be doing with the stack. So remember, you still need those other two work drawings. So what we're going to do here is go to File, New, and for drawing type, it doesn't matter which one you choose because we're going to turn it into a PDF at the end. So standard IDW is the one that I typically use. Right here we can see we are on size D paper. Size D paper is 4 times your normal printer paper size. We want to put it down to size A. Size A is your typical printer paper. So we're going to right click on sheet 1, edit sheet, and then change it to A. Once we click OK, it shrinks down. So we can see our size is now A, but our title block is still large. The border automatically changes size, but unfortunately the title block doesn't, so we need to do this manually. So right click on ANSI large, delete, and now we need to click on the arrow next to drawing resources. If you click on the folder, it won't actually open, you gotta click on the arrow. Now we're gonna click on the arrow next to title blocks, and then double click on ANSI. If you have it where it's trying to have you type in text like I have it right now, if you double click on the icon, that'll fix it. The only thing that happened was you just didn't click fast enough. So now I'm going to click base, and I'm going to place in my object. So this is my stack. I'm going to place my front view right here. If for some reason you had it tipped all kind of funky any which way, all you're going to do is make sure that you have it tipped this way. For mine, the front happens to be the front. So I'm also going to place in a top, an isometric. I'm going to wait for the right side because I'll show you that in a second. And then for this one, I'm also going to add in a bottom. So now OK. And for that right side, I'm actually going to add it in as a section view. So I'm going to click on section, click on the part that I want to do it on. So that'd be the front view. And if you already had the front view selected, when you click on section view, you won't have to click on it again. It'll automatically pop up with kind of these dotted lines. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go right above where this green dot is. Don't get the green dot because then your cutout will be like right up against this, and that's not what we want. And then I'm going to have it go straight down a little bit past, and you want that little perpendicular symbol to pop up. Let you know it's nice and straight. And now you can see how the tail is still connected. We need to right click and continue to get rid of that tail. So now we have this pop up. So in this one, we're not going to really change anything. Later on in another work drawing, I will show you how to change things in there, but for this one, we don't need that. All right, next, I'm going to show you what to do if you happen to have it where your text is inside here, because that sometimes happens. Even if you think you planned for it, sometimes it messes up. So what we're going to do is just click on our green or red dotted line and then scoot it up. And we have a nice little gap between our section AA, C-A-A, and our scale. So scale is 1:1 because our scale of our entire part is 1:1. Next thing we're going to do is shade this in. So we can double click on the blue sphere, and once you click on it, it won't change anything. You need to click OK, and then it changes. So now we're going to go to Annotate and add in our center marks and center lines. I like to do this now because it's a lot easier to do before all the dimensions are in because I can see what I'm doing, and a lot of times dimensions are attached to your center mark or center line. So to add in the center mark, all you have to do is press or click on the circle. So we went to the largest one here, and all the other ones are automatically done because they're all lined up at the center. Same with our bottom. Next, we have 2 different tools for our center line. We have just our regular center line where we click on the top and bottom, and then in between them we have our center line that shows up, or we have centerline bisector. Centerline bisector is more for something where you have 2 parallel lines and you're clicking on the 2 parallel lines and putting the line in the center. For this one, I'm going to be using our just typical center line. So I can just go here, get my green dot, and again, it kind of moves around. If I was doing something that was a circle and I needed to click on some more, that's why it kind of lets you do some more of this, but since we're not doing that, we're just going to right click, create, and that finishes off our center line. And then I can back out of the tool. So you can do that by right clicking and escape, or just press escape on the keyboard. So now we're going to do hole and thread. So hole and thread, I'm going to do right here. All right, and I wanted to make sure I got this edge. The reason for that is this edge right here. So this is something that you may or may not have seen before. We have quite a few dimensions in this one dimension. It's giving you the information for the counterbore hole that was drilled into the stack. So it's giving us this first piece of information, which is this skinnier hole that was drilled in. Then we have this second piece of information with a counterbore or spot face symbol. Basically just means that the bottom edge is 90 degrees. And we have right here our diameter and depth. So that is the second one. All right, something else to show you guys is how to add in an angle. This is a little bit different than maybe what you've been seeing, but you just click on the edge, and then place it in. You might have gotten that by mistake earlier doing something else, but that's how you place it in. So those two, and then you get your dimension. Then we can click OK. All right, and also don't forget to add in your title for your part. So stack, and then for here we can add in our name and then also what class. So on here there's a lot more dimensions that you need to add in, but I'm going to leave that to you because I want to see how will you remember how to dimension your parts. So finish the work drawing by adding in your dimensions. Good luck!